a world where the truth isn't always what it seems, real estate masters step forward to help put the E first in the word true. TREU. Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. And now, here's your real estate masters and their host, Tom Blatania.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a beautiful Friday morning here in South Florida. You're listening to TREU Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. We have three of the top realtors in all of South Florida: Carol Morgan, Scott McAllister, and the infamous George Matter.
Good morning.
All right, how's your guys' week? Enjoying this weather?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
nice.
I love it like this.
Yeah, I keep.
Cool evenings, warm days.
Yeah, I keep teasing the people up in Jersey. I'm going to see this. Keep teasing them. Oh, it's 59. It's 66. It's freezing down here, and they're like, oh, it's 26. It's 19. It's
Yeah, it's cold. My
that's-
granddaughter called me yesterday. She says, "Oh, Grandma, it's freezing up here.
Oh.
It's snowing and it's freezing." I said, "Glad you're there."
What I love is whenever I bring it up to my friends and family who live up there, they always give you the, yeah, but I like the seasons.
Yeah, yeah.
And they say it like that. I'm like, I do too, but I like a season that just doesn't suck.
We have seasons here.
Exactly.
Just not as dramatic.
Right.
And then everyone's like, yeah, but you have that, the sticky, humid summer. I'm like, I'll trade the 2 months
Yeah.
that we have the awful summer for the 6 months
Of
just
6 degree, yeah.
of terrible weather that you guys have. I'm happy to trade that.
You got to shovel. You got to get up 3 hours before so you can shovel your car out of the snow, or
Right.
de-ice it, or yeah, it's insane. I agree with you. 100%.
Actually, I think we have about 4 months.
Okay, but we have pools and beaches.
Yes,
also.
we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And if you live here on the Treasure Coast, what a breeze we have almost all of the
Yeah, we
time.
do.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you get that ocean breeze. It's just gorgeous. How many days, even when it's like 95% humidity, 100 degrees out, but
Yep.
you're still at the square grouper.
Yeah.
With that gorgeous ocean breeze blowing and the boats going
Yeah.
by, and you're like, I can deal with this.
It's tough.
I can
Toes
deal
in the
with this.
sand.
Exactly.
That's it. Toes in the sand. That's a beautiful thing. All right. Well, we got a great show for you today, and we're going to be coming into the holiday season. We hope everybody's going to have a safe and happy holiday. So today, some of the things we're going to be talking about, and we're going to kind of follow up on the vote for the tax for the short sale. Hopefully, George will help us out on that one. But we're going to tell you what the result of that was. Not too surprising.
No.
But we'll follow in on that. And also, Florida being number one. Wahoo! Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Some things yes, some things
Some
no.
things no. We're going to talk about that too. And Carol's going to kind of fill us in on the recovery and how things are going here with the market. So kind of a couple things that actually, in a way, almost contradict each other, but kind of blend in. So we're going to talk a lot about those things. And, of course, we'll have our Hot Around Town after the first break. But if you'd like to watch or listen to us live right here in the studio, 772 that's my phone number again.
No, don't do that again.
772-220-9788, and you can go to TREUradio.com. That's TREU radio.com. And you can see the lovely dressed Miss Carol Morgan, the stud of a muffin, Mr. Scott McAllister, and the debonair, Mr. George Matter. I use all those terms very loosely. No, I'm teasing.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. Yeah, Carol. We already know Carol's beautiful, but it's one of those things. But TREUradio.com. Also,
You guys are
can
kind.
follow us on Twitter, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed, and you can. Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed is Facebook.
Yes.
TREU Radio, TREU Radio, is on Twitter and LinkedIn and.
And then if you want to give any of the realtors a call, you can call us on our Google voicemail, 772-444-25, what was it?
90.
2590. Whoa.
25.
I almost, it slipped me for a second there.
And all that information is right on TREUradio.com. You can find out about the realtors, find out why they are the best. You go to TREUradio.com, you can go click on their bios, and you can go directly to their websites, their phone numbers, anything and everything. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, coming into the new year, I would think this would be a good time to start planning.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
Absolutely.
There's talk that interest rates are going to start easing up. So if you are thinking about it, it may be a good time to pull the trigger.
Can't think of them going down any lower.
No.
No, actually the Feds met and they're discussing about bumping it a little bit. So
Yeah, so now you need to think about it. You know, we could get now if you dabble in the stock market at all, you're enjoying this Santa Claus rally, so that might help you to be able to sock away a few extra dollars for that down payment, so you can get a little bit better rate and a little bit better house maybe. That's a beautiful thing. Stock market was up so big yesterday. It was.
Where is it at now?
Oh, it's at 17.7 this morning, but it was. I mean, it went down like 700 or 800 points over the past week, just off of crazy stuff with Russia and all the different things like that. And did you hear that Sony pulled
The interview.
Oh, that's going to be a big controversy.
Hey, talk about terrorists won. They won on that one.
yes, they did.
I mean,
Yeah, they did.
that really bothers me on so many levels.
It does. It does. I'm wondering who, what, and where talked to Sony and told them, you guys need to pull this, or did Sony make this decision on their own?
I think the theater owners kind of said that we're not going to put it in because if there's a known risk, if something does happen, then it opens them up to lawsuits by putting it out there.
I heard that George Clooney wanted to move forward with that, and nobody else was in favor of it. So,
Oh, he was part of it?
no, he was in favor of them going on.
Oh,
He
okay.
didn't want them to pull it,
Oh, I see.
and nobody else is out there in favor with him. So,
And they were saying no DVD either?
As of now, they said the movie will not be released.
Correct.
That's the last thing that I read about that. Yeah.
That's a slap.
Right, yeah.
That's a slap in the
And
face.
it's funny. I was reading a friend of mine who's he was saying he had mixed feelings about it on his Facebook post. He was like, because obviously it's a slap in the face of freedom of speech and letting the terrorists win. He goes, but it does keep Seth Rogen off the screen for one more movie. So
That is a
in
plus.
some ways that can be considered a plus depending on your opinions.
But,
Oh, I was just
Like
going to say,
everything.
I think there's a lot, too, behind the scenes that we haven't seen because
think so,
there's a
too.
lot of internal information
Okay.
so I think that might be more of why Sony pulled the
there was,
movie.
okay.
Because, but I don't know at the same time because a lot of movie theaters, the big chains pulled out, but the smaller ones were still in it.
Yeah.
And then they were going to swamp it and play Team America because Team America is another movie that depicted Kim Jong-il
It's a
as an
great
alien
one.
cockroach. And he had a gruesome death in that, but it's a marionette puppet movie. They were going to play that, and then a couple hours later had to pull back from that, saying we don't have the rights to play it anymore.
So we can have the documentaries from Michael Moore out there that just blast our president and just rip apart all these other organizations. But if we talk about another country in a joking, comedic manner,
yeah.
we got to pull
I
it.
met that guy,
Which one?
Michael Moore.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say Kim Jong Un.
yeah.
Really?
Michael
Wow.
Moore.
Remember you traveling with Rodman?
Yeah.
That's when he lived in Flint and had the big blowout with Flint up there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the Roger and Me documentary.
Yeah,
So it's, I don't know,
kind
it's
of
just
not
just a
he's
frustrating
a weird
thing.
guy.
Frustrating thing with that. I just had to pop that up there.
Yeah, they get you, but all right. So we got to have some happy holiday spirit
Yeah,
stuff.
we do.
Thinking of on the positive side, on the last week we did have our Kane Center, like senior dinner outreach
We did.
parties.
How was that?
It was great.
It was
as
great.
always.
Yeah,
The
it
people had
was.
a great time.
I can
Carol, I
honestly,
didn't get to talk to you.
I
How did
know.
it go at yours?
Oh, mine was awesome. I can honestly say, George was with me. I can honestly say that I think this time, what a change I've seen in my people. I mean, they were ecstatic. They were so happy that we were there. We brought gifts in. One of our vendors donated some extra money to, because Scott Burrows couldn't be with us. He always worked with us. So he wanted us to buy gifts for the people that were
nice.
there. So I went out and bought special gifts, and then Colleen Craddock made up packages of gifts that she brought in, and then we did one as Keller Williams. So we gave them a lot and a good time. We had a great time. I mean, they were just
A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun this time.
Where
I
was
think
it
this
held?
was the best.
At the Kane Center?
No,
This one
theirs
was held
was-
at the Stewart Recreation Center.
Oh, okay.
And then the one that our team did was out at Mount Zion, out
Okay.
in Booker Park in Indiantown.
And I'd like to say if Mr. Sanford and Mr. Cooper are listening, happy birthday to both of you. One is turning 94 and the other one is 85.
Wow. How's your
Happy
mom?
birthday.
My parents are doing much better. There's still aches and pains. They just at the chiropractor right now getting worked on. But I do want to give a shout out in the past. I missed it last week, but my aunt, great aunt Flossie, she was 99. They were going to have a 100th birthday party for her. The last few days she started, turning south. She did make it though. She made it till 1 a.m. on her 100th birthday before she passed away. And I just was like, what a wonderful thing. I mean, she always said, she goes, I'm going to make it to be 100.
She did.
She found a way to do it, and then I guess once she did it, she's like, okay, I did it.
She crossed the finish line.
She crossed the finish line and said, I'm done now. So
that's awesome.
So there's a shout out to Aunt Flossie.
Good old Aunt Flossie. Awesome. It makes us feel good that we have more than half of our lives left.
Right, exactly.
You and I do.
Really?
Yeah. But
Really? We don't. I don't.
I was going to say, I got 110 there.
all right, so some of the stuff we were talking about, let's go back to, we were talking about the short sale tax and where people were going to be able to benefit from the difference when they short sold the house. Let's say the house was worth $200,000. They short sold it instead of foreclosing. Let's say it was worth $100,000 now. That was $100,000
Short.
and that meant that they were originally probably going to pay taxes on that. But I guess the vote,
Residual income.
yeah, and which never made sense really.
It's a hidden income.
Yeah, it's a hidden income, and it never made sense. How are you going to tax somebody on that? So we talked about that last week. Well, it had passed Congress, and now it passed the Senate pretty well. 76-16 was the vote.
I wonder what the 16 were arguing about. I'd love to know what their position was. This is bad for America.
They just have to argue.
Right.
I got to fight something.
Can't pass unanimously. It has to be somebody has to be able.
Yeah, you could probably put up like the Hug Kittens and Puppies Act, and there's going to be a couple. Oh no, I'm not for that.
Those are animal
I like
haters.
birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Z Nation? Puppies and Kittens?
Right.
The only thing I could think of the 16 would say is that, my thought is, could doing this entice people to do a short sale knowing that they're not going to get nailed for the taxes? So
I don't think so.
Because they only did this, it's retroactive to January 1st of this year. It
Only 1 year.
expires on the 31st of December.
Right.
So if you're looking to do it, they're going to have to vote on it for 2015 again.
Oh,
Right.
I see.
So
Okay.
if you're going to do a short sale, good luck getting it done in the next 10 days.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never seen one that move that quick.
maybe business would pick up in the next 10 days for you guys.
Really? Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of things have slowed down. A lot of the people I'm working with for looking at foreclosures have slowed down with the holiday. But I have people looking at new construction right now.
Yes.
I'm actually going up today to Tradition.
Okay.
And because I just moved to Port St. Lucie, and so I'm now going to start working more north. And I had not spent any time there. And last week I went to visit all the different developments, met with their salespeople. There's some really nice stuff up in Tradition in the like $250,000 to $400,000 range, and some really nice properties up there. Plus you've got that really cool like community that they have going on up there at Tradition.
Yeah.
It is a nice community.
And I want to find out that I had on my other radio show I interviewed a gentleman who was part of the commission up there and said that there was a big lagoon style place that was Crystal Lagoons that was going to be coming in there.
Oh, really?
They're
I've not heard that.
talking about
Oh,
doing
so you
it.
still know about it?
Yes,
Okay, so it's true.
It has not got passed, but it's a huge development, 5,000 homes. But it's still a ways out.
It is still okay. So because he told me that the people had actually had put a down payment on the property or something like that.
Yes, but it's contingent on approval,
Okay.
so it's a pretty good ways out if it does happen. But it could be
Now this
big boom.
thing is, look it up online. It is like a 10-mile long giant swimming pool.
Yeah.
With community.
Crystal clear waters.
Oh yeah, and you're supposed to be able to
Can you put a jet ski in there?
jet skis.
That'd
in
be
it.
awesome. Like
Yep.
go to your friend's house on a jet ski.
You're supposed to be able to do all kinds of different stuff like that, and it's supposed to be
2 a.m.
running
everyone's
parallel to 95 on the west side.
I didn't think you could put a gas-operated boat or jet ski in that water. I don't know. Do they have battery ones?
I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
the nice thing about the jet skis and wave runners is because everything is enclosed, so
Still
you're
fuel.
not contaminated any of the water that way. But that's what when I interviewed
Or paddleboard.
when I interviewed the gentleman, that's what he had said. And
That would be really
when you
cool.
watch it online and you look at the other ones that they have, I think there's 7 other ones. They actually show all that. They have the boats and the jet skis and the different things.
That'd
like
be
that.
awesome.
Where is that? They have one out in the Caribbean somewhere. With
Yeah,
that
there's in Dubai. I
mile-
think there's one.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
They're all over the place.
Wow.
But you look at these things. I mean, some of them. One of them I think had like a gigantic glass pyramid enclosure or something like that. It was incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot going on up there. I mean, what they're just right now, even the hospital over the next few years is going to be expanding to medical stuff. You got a lot of high tech things going on around there.
And we got
Few of
that
the
beautiful
universities.
digital domain sitting right
Oh
there.
yeah,
There's an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
someone's going to make use of that.
Yes,
Someone.
they will.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take our first quick break, and when we come back, we got hot around town, and then we're going to get into Florida being number 1. Go Florida! You're listening to Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. Carol Morgan, Scott McAllister, George Matter. I'm Tom Platini, your host. 772-220-9788. We'll be right back.
90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Do you have a struggling business? CTL Consultants specializes in helping small to medium-sized businesses get back on track. They'll help you understand how your profit and loss statement works. If used properly on a daily basis, it can be the most powerful tool you have. And you don't have to be an accountant to understand one. Don't use a profit and loss statement? Then you need to contact CTL Consultants today at ctlconsultants.com or 772-882-5700 to get your business back on track.
I'm George Matter of Keller Williams Realty of the Treasure Coast. I've been a residential realtor for the past 12 years, specializing in waterfront and country club communities. If you're looking for the right house to dock your boat, I'm the realtor to call. Please contact me at 772-486-4676 or online at matterrealtors.com. I look forward to helping you buy, sell, or invest in your next home. Please listen to us Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on WSTU.
Why is the back bedroom always so hot?
Because it's the farthest room away from the AC.
Judy across the street has the same house we do. She doesn't have this problem. They had CTL Consultants work with their builder and architect to design the most efficient system. They even designed the ductwork system so that every room is the same temperature. Her house is the same exact size. It has 2 tons less air conditioning than ours, and it feels 10 times better in their house. CTL Consultants, they really made the difference. We should have had CTL Consultants design our system.
If you're a builder, architect, engineer, or HVAC company looking for a true professional to design your HVAC systems and provide proper energy analysis, then you should contact CTL Calcs at ctlcalcs.com. That's ctlcalcs.com. ctlcalcs.com to see how we can help you build a better home.
I'm Carol Morgan, real estate consultant with Keller Williams Real Estate in beautiful Stuart, Florida, serving Martin, St. Lucie, and Palm Beach counties, and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. I have an extensive array of luxury waterfront and single-family homes. If you're looking to buy or sell, please call me at 772-631-1394 or go to StewartHomeListings.com.
Don't miss Real Estate Unleashed, Friday mornings at 10 on WSTU.
Hi, I'm Scott McAllister, General Manager of the McAllister International Team of Keller Williams of the Treasure Coast and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed every Friday morning on WSTU at 1450 a.m. I have a full real estate team with specialists in buying, selling, land and equestrian properties, distressed homes, and luxury waterfront. Call myself or my team at 561-756-0891 or online at treasurecoasthomesonline.com.
You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
All right, welcome back to True Radio, TREU Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. I'm Tom Platini, your host, and we are here with Scott McAllister, Carol Morgan, and Mr. George Matter. Don't forget to go to TREUradio.com. You can watch us live in the studio. Find out why Scott has a face for radio.
My mom is listening.
Jane, I love you. You're wonderful. Your son is awesome. Hope you feel better. That was George that said that, by the way.
Take one for the team.
Good, man. All right, so we have our segment, Hot Around Town. And, well, we usually start with ladies first, but you know what? We're going to go with George in the middle there. We haven't started with George here in a while. George, what's hot around for the Matter team?
Actually, it's not. It's been a very, very quiet week. I do have a couple of new listings coming aboard, but they really don't want them released until after the first of the year.
Oh, so we can't talk about them.
So I got to kind of keep them in my pocket until at least.
Oh, because then they don't want to sell and have to deal with all that stuff.
They don't want people coming in on their house all the holidays.
Exactly.
You think that's a big reason?
They've committed to it, but they just don't want. They just don't want the activity. They got family coming to town, so they just don't want the inconvenience.
So is it typically this time of year?
Oh, yeah.
Slow? Yeah.
I tried to show, Jane and I were showing property in the $1.5 million range the other day, and out of 8 places we called, only 1 would let us in because the rest are like, no, it's the holidays.
It's the holiday.
They can come back after the first of the year, everyone's saying. So
I was showing down south last weekend, same thing. There's just too many people don't want you in right now. They've got family in town. They don't want to be bothered.
Family in town, they got everything decorated. They don't want anything.
There are people tramping through their stuff. Yeah.
Or they got valuables out there. They have gifts that are unwrapped. They just rather shy away for the next couple of weeks.
I know I would. At this time, it's like I don't want people, strangers coming through my house and all that at that point. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense. All right, so what's hot around town for the McAllister team?
I've got a new rental listing I'm putting on the market today in Port St. Lucie off of Irely. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's going to be redone, new carpets, and I know he's going to do some work on the outside, pressure cleaning, putting some shrubbery up. It's going to rent for $1,200. That's probably going to be available, I believe, the middle of January. He needs to do some work before he has it ready to rent, but it is going to be on the market, so we're going to put it on that. It'll be later today.
If you're interested in that, give Scott a call, 772-444-2590.
You got it.
You can give him a call and find out. Now, where is Irely in Port St. Lucie? What location?
It's like a little east of
Bayshore.
Yeah, exactly.
Bayshore's a very long road.
Yeah. Yes, Crosstown Parkway.
Yes,
Okay.
Crosstown
Parkway.
Yeah. That's where you would get off at Crosstown on 95.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not bad. Kind of right there by Turnpike, 95. So you've got good decent location.
You got good, quick access to 95, and those are what's nice is they're cute neighborhoods. It's a neighborhood where all the neighbors take care of their lawns and all the houses look nice, but yet you don't have HOAs, so you can put your boat in your front. And what's nice is a lot of people, I think, when they see that places don't have those rules, they're just imagining some junky boat, up on blocks. But a lot of these people, they really, even though they're allowed to do that, they take pride in their home. Yeah. And that their boat is usually parked nicely on the side of the house, mowed around it and cared for. So.
Good. Yeah, HOAs, I can't stand them. Or the people that frustrate me that actually run the HOAs.
That's me.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
You forget?
I knew that. I'm just messing with her. How about what's hot around town for the Morgan team?
Well, it's been kind of quiet. We've just been playing catch-up pretty much. I've been just focusing on the Kane Center. That's been my biggie the last couple of weeks, is getting that all up and running. And we've arranged, as of today, we have a couple of routes of food that we're going to be delivering for Christmas Eve Day.
Nice.
So it's just keeping those people happy and making sure that they have some type of a Christmas and something to eat for the holidays.
Beautiful.
And anybody listening out there, please don't forget the Kane Center. Their pantry is very, very limited these days. So
Yeah, and
please
you can
drop off groceries. You can bring them to our office. You can take them over to the Kane Center, or give us a call. We'll come get them.
Yeah, if you guys, if you want to put a bin together at your office, I'll be happy to come by and pick it up. Just give us a call, and we'll.
Perfect.
Anything we can do. It's a project that I know we're very passionate about.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely, I like that. All right, so Florida #1, man, that's a great thing. We think about that all the time, but in this case, well, not so good.
Not so good. Not so good.
So
But you
good.
know what? The biggest part of it is the appraisal fraud.
The appraisal. Oh, okay. So
That's the biggest part of it.
So Morgan, what they're talking about here is Florida's still #1 when it comes to mortgage fraud, but Carol's saying there's also some appraisal fraud now.
Yeah.
How can it? Because isn't it supposed to be like kind of a?
You can manipulate
sign-
figures.
you
I mean, they
can.
manipulate figures. They're not actually using good comps.
Aren't
We're
they
saying
supposed to be
are not there.
verifiable numbers though? I mean, aren't they based? Aren't appraisals supposed to be based on homes that are already in that area, what they've sold for, different things of that nature?
Uniform standards.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Supposed
that's
to be.
kind of the whole purpose of it. So what are they doing to fraud for the appraisal?
Well, they're not pulling the lower prices in; they're pulling the higher prices in.
Okay.
So they're not doing a variable. I mean, there's just many things that they're not giving. They're giving homes credit for something they may not have.
Okay.
Improvements, updates
Improvements,
that
yeah.
have not been done.
I see. Okay. Now, obviously there's a difference between a person doing an appraisal and a CMA from a realtor.
But we should be pretty close.
But
We should be pretty
because
close.
you're using a lot of the same stuff.
We do.
They're being a little bit more technical in their numbers. Is that correct?
Yes.
But I found because now that they have to use a pool as opposed to where banks said, okay, these are the 5
Right.
guys we use. Now they have to get the appraisers from a pool. Sometimes you have people in Port St. Lucie that are out. They're from Boca because of the timing.
Oh, I
And
had
they
one.
don't-
I
they
had
know
one out of
nothing about
state,
the neighborhood.
Scott. I
Right.
had one came in from out of
Exactly.
state to do an appraisal for a property that he knew nothing about the area. I don't understand that.
And that's why
That
when,
I
you
don't
know,
understand.
That's a huge part of it. When a realtor does a CMA, a big part of it is our knowledge of the area. That's where you can make the adjustments and go, okay, yeah, but for this neighborhood with a pool and this and this is,
Yeah.
it's knowing those things. Yeah, if you're from another state, how are you going to know what things in Abacoa are, go for? How are you going to know these things?
That makes a lot of sense. And who polices the appraisers?
Supposedly the underwriters look at the appraisals pretty quickly.
But they're still licensed,
But
so
they're-
it would still be DBPR and stuff like
Yeah.
that would.
Right.
So
They don't police that, but they
Right.
they certainly file all complaints.
now are the underwriters accepting this for a political reason behind the scenes or a monetary reason?
No.
How does it benefit the underwriter? Because obviously it would hurt the buyer, it would help the seller if you had an inaccurate appraisal, if it was high, because you said they were cutting out
I
the
don't know how
lows.
that would benefit the underwriters today. I can tell you years ago, it would benefit the underwriters by how many loans they got through in the system and approved to close and closed within a month's time, and that was paid on their bonus. I don't think that's so much true today.
So with underwriters, they don't make more money off of the larger loan.
Underwriters don't. Their
Underwriters,
underwriters
okay.
typically are their salary.
Okay.
I would think.
They're salaried, but they had the potential to make bonus money. Been too many years since I've been in that to tell you if that's still happening, but I would think probably not, but I don't know that.
I'm just trying to find a theory because an appraiser gets paid the same dollar amount, right?
Right.
Regardless of what the price of the home is.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, no. The bigger the house is, the more the appraisal costs.
No, a typical appraisal is.
No, I'm talking about the dollar
Yeah.
amount. I'm talking about the dollar amount. So
Right.
an appraiser's going to go out, and whether he appraises that house at $200,000 or $170,000, he still gets the same dollar amount on that house. So what I'm trying to figure out is why would they be fraudulently putting prices out there? Who would be benefiting
Because somebody
from
bought
that?
the house for more money than it was worth.
Right. But the appraiser's got nothing. Why would the appraiser appraise it at more? Because
What's his motivation?
okay,
Yeah.
what's his motivation for saying I'm going to appraise this at 200,000?
I don't know today because of the fact that, it used to be years ago that us as agents, we could pick the appraisers we wanted, or the mortgage
Right.
company could pick the appraisers that they wanted to go out to appraise the home. They don't have control over that anymore. So, I don't know. I
And
don't
is
know.
somebody
There's not a
lining their
reason to not
pockets?
be
Is
that.
are they in with the mortgage companies, which leads us into
Or are they just lazy? They get a copy of the contract. Are they just looking to match up the prices to match
There
the
you go,
contract?
okay.
Just
making it easy
And that's
instead of really
quicker, easier, not thorough.
Yeah.
That's why it's always a good idea, for the realtor to go because there are things, they'll pretend like, oh, you're not influencing their decision. But if you're giving them information that they didn't have and maybe making their job a little easier,
Yeah.
making their research a little easier,
More accurate.
you definitely can have
I
an
usually
influence
send
on
that
it.
over to them ahead of time.
Exactly.
I send them comps.
I send my comps and a list of the upgrades.
Okay.
And they
Just-
usually
just so we-
appreciate that.
Yeah, make their life easier. We're really the local experts.
And we're not, and there's nothing disingenuous about it. It's simply a matter
Right.
of here's our CMA. Here's the information. You're going to have to look it up anyway.
Right.
So
You
we're
know,
just providing it to you.
I can
right
remember
now,
years ago that when I was in the mortgage business, this appraiser did not realize that I was in a house close by, So I knew the appraiser was coming, and I was going to go over there afterwards, and I seen the appraiser came up. He came by. He used the comps that I gave him. He came by, drove by the house with his camera and took a picture of the house and kept going. So when because this house had sold like about 8 months prior to that, so he pulled a lot of the information right off the internet.
Probably old pictures as well.
Yeah, yeah. So he had no idea. So when I looked at it and seen what he had done, and he was not justifying the cost of the house, he had no idea that this house had a brand new kitchen in it.
Okay,
Because he didn't go inside.
Oh, he couldn't even seen what was out back.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just driving by.
Because
Now, I'm not saying that's all appraisers, because most
No.
appraisers I've ever dealt with were very, very good. That appraiser just didn't get any more of our business.
He knew what was out back. He had Google Earth.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Because what the appraiser does is they take that base home and then they take the other homes around it that would be comparable, and then they do an addition or subtraction based on, okay, this house is identical to that, but this one's got a pool.
Well, you never adjust the subject property.
Right, so subject property, but you adjust the plus or minus on
Right.
the other house.
Right, on the comps.
Right, so this way, so this other house has a pool, subject house doesn't, so the pool would be worth $8,000, whatever
About
that number
15.
is.
I usually carry it
This
about
has
15.
a two-car garage. This other one has 3 cars, so you
Right.
subtract so much
Right,
for the
and that's what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But they need all that information, like you're talking about the kitchen. Well, if the guy never went into the kitchen, now could the buyer or the seller are more involved with the appraiser?
Neither.
The
It's
lender.
the lender.
The lender.
The lender.
Okay.
The listing agent should get involved if needed. They're the ones that give them access to the property.
So listing agent, so then that would be the seller of the home would be actually more involved if the listing agent. So
Right.
is it, do the sellers ever go with the appraisers? Do the listing agent, obviously listing
Sometimes we
agents.
meet them there.
I do.
The
Sometimes.
sellers can do that as well. Okay, tell them a little bit about the house.
Especially if you know it's a house
tight.
that it's a tight appraisal.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a
Okay.
tight appraisal, then we'll go in, we'll give them all the necessary information we have to have.
So that might help, with folks out there, if there is some fraud out there with appraisal, to maybe if you're selling your home, get with your listing agent and yourself and, go there to help make sure that some of that stuff doesn't happen.
Right.
So that that you're getting a fair and that the guy doesn't just do a drive-by.
Drive-by appraisal.
Well, years ago we used to do drive-by appraisals because we were doing refinances.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And a lot of those refinances were interest rate reduction, not necessarily value.
Right.
So they would just do a drive-by appraisal.
Just make sure the home actually exists.
Right. Take a picture front and back,
Right.
and that was pretty much it. So I don't know if they do those anymore today. I don't think so.
All right. Well, leading up to the number one thing, but let's hope things improve, is they found that U.S. fraud in 2013 grew in a year-to-year comparison when it came to mortgage fraud. In fact, mortgage application fraud and misrepresentation has grown for the past 3 years. Now, this is according to LexisNexis. Overall, 74% of 2013 loans reported some kind of misrepresentation on the application, compared to 69% in 2012 and 61% in 2011. Now, this boggles my mind because I'd say, haven't we tightened up our policies? Now, could that be why? Because we've tightened our policies,
They're catching more.
now we're catching more. And
Right.
how fraudulent are some of these things, though?
Well, right.
Are they
and you
major?
said, well, plus you were saying some of it's just misrepresentations. And that's what I've never seen any major fraud myself, but I've run into a number where people, they just feel like they have to lie to make it sound better. And you're like, you didn't think someone was going to catch this? They misrepresent their income, or they misrepresent how long they've been at a
People
job.
say that they make more than what they actually do.
They do. But, all of that is verified. So I don't know if you really consider that to be fraud or not. But I think the biggest thing that I have ever seen in the mortgage business, and when I was in it and I had to fire a loan officer, was fraudulently signing docs. That was the biggie. He would sign for his clients. It was his clients of his church. And it was a pretty scary time, let me tell you. I had never had to do that before, but when we first caught wind of it, we were suspicious. And then, of course, we had to turn it into the feds, and then the feds came in and did their audit. And, we had to let him go.
Yeah. I'm guessing part of that is not so much as far as lying about it, probably more exaggerations as far as improvements. I did this, and it may not have cost as much as they said. Well, the kitchen cost $25,000. Well, in reality, it cost $16,000.
Right.
So there's probably more exaggerations there.
Yeah, I don't, as far as income and stuff and all of that, that's all verified. It all has to be
It's verifiable, but you're still filling out the mortgage
But yeah,
application
surprisingly,
first.
people will still do it even though if they're going to get caught.
Because even though it's going to be verifiable, I'm going to fill it out, hoping. Because if I've never bought a house before, or I've only bought one in my life, I don't know what they're going to do to verify stuff. So I'm going to throw some stuff on there, hoping it'll slide by. Now, of course, then you get caught because now you got to verify the income that's on there. So you put 65, and you start going through your paycheck stubs, and the guy, well, wait a minute, you're only
that just
you
happened
make
to
45.
us. That just happened to us last month. That a sale fell through because when it went to underwriting, they went to verify everything, and the guy was not making the income
again,
he claimed.
that goes back to the importance that you never take. I will not take a pre-qualification from a lender and take people out and show a house. I ask that they please be underwritten by a bank.
Approval.
And I want a full pre-approval. Now, that pre-approval is going to be subject to title. It's going to be subject to, appraisal. It's going to be subject to different things.
Yeah.
But at least we know we have qualified buyers in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the most important thing, to know that these people truly are qualified for a house. Colleen had just had one that I worked on with her, that the buyers came in with just a pre-qual. I gave them 5 days. I said, you got 5 days to get pre-approved. We're not taking this off the market, but you have 5 days. So
all right, we're going to go take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about why Florida is number one. We're going to talk a little bit more about the appraisal and property valuation fraud, potential collision fraud. And then we're going to Carol's going to talk to us a little bit about why the market may be looking like it's coming back. TREU Radio, Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed, 772-220-9788. We'll be right back.
Why is the back bedroom always so hot?
Because it's the farthest room away from the AC.
Judy across the street has the same house we do. She doesn't have this problem. They had CTL consultants work with their builder and architect to design the most efficient system. They even designed the ductwork system so that every room is the same temperature. Her house is the same exact size. It has 2 tons less air conditioning than ours, and it feels 10 times better in their house. CTL Consultants, they really made the difference. We should have had CTL Consultants design our system.
If you're a builder, architect, engineer, or HVAC company looking for a true professional to design your HVAC systems and provide proper energy analysis, then you should contact CTL Calcs at ctlcalcs.com. That's ctlcalcs.com. ctlcalcs.com to see how we can help you build a better home.
I'm George Matter of Keller Williams Realty of the Treasure Coast. I've been a residential realtor for the past 12 years, specializing in waterfront and country club communities. If you're looking for the right house to dock your boat, I'm the realtor to call. Please contact me at 772-486-4676 or online at matterrealtors.com. I look forward to helping you buy, sell, or invest in your next home. Please listen to us Friday mornings at 10 a.m. on WSTU.
90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Do you have a struggling business? CTL Consultants specializes in helping small to medium-sized businesses get back on track. They'll help you understand how your profit and loss statement works. If used properly on a daily basis, it can be the most powerful tool you have. And you don't have to be an accountant to understand one. Don't use a profit and loss statement? Then you need to contact CTL Consultants today at ctlconsultants.com or 772-882-5700 to get your business back on track.
Hi, I'm Carol Morgan, real estate consultant with Keller Williams Real Estate in beautiful Stuart, Florida, serving Martin, St. Lucie, and Palm Beach counties, and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed. I have an extensive array of luxury waterfront and single-family homes. If you're looking to buy or sell, please call me at 772-631-1394 or go to StewartHomeListings.com.
Don't miss Real Estate Unleashed, Friday mornings at 10 on WSTU.
Hi, I'm Scott McAllister, General Manager of the McAllister International Team of Keller Williams of the Treasure Coast and co-host of Treasure Coast Real Estate Unleashed every Friday morning on WSTU at 1450 a.m. I have a full real estate team with specialists in buying, selling, land and equestrian properties, distressed homes, and luxury waterfront. Call myself or my team at 561-756-0891 or online at treasurecoasthomesonline.com.
You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
772-220-9788. Number to call here at the studio. Or
I
go
thought you were giving out your number again.
That's 882-5700.
Oh, good. See? He needs a date for tonight, doesn't he?
That's it. Tell. Turn this into.
Not according to what I heard when I came in here today.
God. It's not me, though, right?
It's always the other one.
It's always the other one.
And you missed the beginning, Carol.
I did.
God. Anyway, my luck.
And he's blushing.
That's what I get for getting here late. I miss out on all the gossip, huh?
Just a beautiful woman, but man, just wound too tight. I bought her. I sent her roses. She got mad that I sent her roses.
You're hiding something.
No, she's like, you're just jumping in way too quick. We only had one date. I'm like, well, it was multicolored roses with one red rose. It was a nice gesture. I'm like, well, I'm just saying, nice, thank you very much. And then I come to find out a week later, well, you don't know me. That's why you're jumping in, because I don't like roses and I don't like baby's breath, and they had both of them. And I'm like, really? I've only dated a couple women. I've never
like babies.
I've never had, and I'm just like, are you serious? So,
what about puppies?
Oh, yeah.
You have an anomaly there,
just wound too tight. So I post that up on the Facebook. Say, okay, ladies.
That.
I'm like, am I crazy or what am I? And everybody's like, no, I don't know any woman that would just, even if she didn't like roses, that would say, oh my gosh, that's so thoughtful, And then maybe later on down the road,
Save your money next time. Just send one beautiful red rose.
Well, it was all the way over on the West Coast. They were going to charge me $60 anyway, so I either said one rose or 12. So anyway, so yeah, nothing. Oh, and by the way, I can't pronounce words worth a darn, and that's not collision. That is collusion fraud. Did you like that?
The look on Carol's face when you said collision fraud, she's like, collision.
She starts looking at the paper, going, "What the heck?
Are we on Car Talk or something now?
What is that?
That's a fraud.
Although I wouldn't mind the ratings that Car Talk gets.
There you go.
I definitely.
We work on that, but collusion fraud. So real quick, going back to the mortgage fraud. Now, overall, Florida ranked first for overall mortgage fraud with an index score of 529. Mm-hmm. However, that's a 24% improvement from its rank of 698 1 year earlier. What is the index score? What is that?
I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea. Okay. All right. So those other states.
I'm sure that's some kind of statistician
for lenders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So number 2 was Nevada. Saw a 5% decline.
All that gambling money.
Yeah, but New Jersey 61% increase. Arizona 40% increase. And Illinois was a 13% increase. Saw a spike in mortgage fraud.
So see, we're good. We're down.
So we're still number 1. So appraisal and property valuation fraud had a year-to-year drop, falling to 15% of loans reported, and in 2012, 26% had signs of appraisal and property valuation fraud, which you had mentioned, Carol, and following 31% in 2011, 33% in 2010. Which you guys probably were aware there was a lot more of that back then, I can imagine.
Is that improving because of the values going up? There's less being caught. If the price is going up 15% a year, would they even suspect or even look into it?
Right.
Because the values are going the right direction. It's only a problem when
so
the
people
values
aren't
are
questioning.
dropping.
Yeah, when money's tight, things aren't. Then that's when everybody starts questioning everything. When the sales aren't there, everybody starts digging deep. Everybody starts watching and looking. And then they find out things that, so how long has this been going on?
Or the owners are walking away. When they walk away, it goes into foreclosure and say, oh, we have a problem because it was way over evaluated.
Yep, absolutely. Also potential collusion, not collision.
Collusion.
Potential collusion fraud. And I even have my glasses on.
And I didn't.
And you didn't.
Oh.
What's that say? Nationwide increased 2.2%, reversing what had been a declining trend based on data comparison. So in the U.S., fraud across all industries is close to $1 trillion problem. Wow. We need to get on top of that.
That's a big number.
Yeah, that's a big number. It's still smaller than our U.S. debt, but you know, it's
That's
still
1/7 of it, though.
I'd say, you know. So let's, Carol, talk to us about the South Florida housing market. Is still considered weak, but
we're improving.
Its recovery is happening.
We are improving. Our market has, again, we don't have the inventory.
Right.
So when you don't have inventory and the demand is high, guess what happens? Your houses go on the market. They're selling. The prices are going up. People are hearing that. They're listing. They're going up. They're gone. So that's keeping that whole thing moving to where we're seeing that it is better. We just need to have some more inventory here.
Yeah, I mean, the business. I hear people all the time and are saying that, and I love that. You know, I'm at a restaurant or somewhere, and they'll be like, "Oh, real estate market's is in such bad shape." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. I'm like, and I can kind of tell you because I'm out there every day. We're doing this, you know. I think like Carol was saying, there's just not the inventory is the frustrating thing.
Right.
But there are buyers, there are sellers. You just price right, and they sell. They sell quickly.
What can be done to increase inventory?
People put their houses on the market.
And what typically needs to happen?
The value has to hit a certain
I think
point.
the value has gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially in Martin County, even St. Lucie County. Now I'm not going to say that in St. Lucie County that the houses have gone up as high as some of those people paid for those houses. No. I mean, some of those houses they were paying $350,000, $400,000 for them, and they lost more than 50% in value.
Right.
Now, we're seeing a tremendous increase in Port St. Lucie, no doubt. I mean, it's way up there. But Martin County we didn't have as big of a fall as St. Lucie had. And I think we're pretty close right now for St. Lucie, or for Martin County, to where we were before. Now, that's not on all houses.
Right.
But I think for the big percentage of them, we can find that we can probably get that value for them now again.
And as far as your question about how to improve the inventory, one thing that I can definitely see is new construction.
Okay. It's really picking up.
Builders are out there building.
They are.
So that's certainly going to help and I
both
see the values and inventory.
Yep.
Yeah, and I see that. Most of the houses that I do my work on are not what they call spec houses.
Mm-hmm.
They're
pre-sold.
They're
already
pre-sold
sold
houses, and because we're working with the homeowners and whatnot. But I do notice a lot more of that. Same thing with commercial. I've gotten a lot of commercial. I just did a bunch of work over on the West Coast, MacDill's Air Force Base, a giant gym over there, a vet center over there.
And that's kind of ironic when you say that, because usually when the housing market is up, the commercial side is usually down.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, I too have seen a lot more commercial activity going on, which is kind of, for me, it's something different that I have never seen really in the history of doing mortgages and real estate. Have never seen them at a parallel level where they're both growing that fast.
Yeah, and I would think it's because a lot of the money's loosening up a little bit. The economy's still doing well. There's a lot of people that after the crisis, after we had that little issue, everybody started really holding on to their money. So now they started accumulating this money and worrying about now things are looking fairly decent. And with the presidential stuff and the political, I mean, it can only go up from here.
Right.
So now they're saying, okay, we feel more comfortable. I mean, you hear some of these companies like Google and how many billions and billions of dollars in cash they have that years ago they didn't have this stuff, but they're hanging on to it just in case. Smart business.
Yeah.
And so it's looking like it might be a green Christmas.
I'm liking it.
Right? And it's nice that we can end the year on a positive note, economy-wise. A lot of jobs are up. There's a lot of good things going on, and a lot of things to be thankful for the past year.
And let's hope that rolls over into the real estate industry. And so, if you folks want to contact any of the realtors, call them at 772-444-2590. Leave them a message. They'll get right back to you. If there's a specific realtor you want to talk to, Carol Morgan, Scott McAllister, or George Matter, just go ahead and let them know that. Also, you can go to TREUradio.com and find their bio on there and give them a call directly if you'd like. And as always, we're going to end the show, but I want to say happy holidays, everybody. I will not be here for the next 2 shows. We're going to do have a pre-recorded show next week for you folks, but afterwards they'll be back. But have a great holiday. But as always, we end the show. Tony Robbins said, "The secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use you. If you do that, you're in control of your life. If you don't, life controls you." All right, have a happy holiday. Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe. True Radio, Scott McAllister, George Matter, Carol Morgan. We'll see you next Friday right here.
Feliz Navidad.